I spent over 10 years with his family, and I got cancer. But right before the surgery, I saw my husband and my son with his mistress for prenatal checkup. My husband of so many years threw the test report in my face and said I was still this dramatic. My son, whom I adored, looking at me with disgust and said I drove him to cheating because I was lazy and refused to work. I'd served for my in-laws for years, said a caregiver is better than me. They teamed up against me, forcing me out with nothing. With no money for surgery, I died 6 months later. When I woke up, I'd been reborn 2 years earlier. This time, I wrote the divorce papers.
Luckily you're young. You still get to start over.
The lawyer looked at me and put away my divorce papers. I smiled, thinking, of course I'm still young. When I was in high school, I met Liam. I married him after I turned 20 and had our son Jay the next year. I'm only in my early 30s now. Looking back, he did put in a lot of effort to marry me. He acted like a perfect man, buttered up my parents, used them to pressure me, then made me drop out, cutting off my own way. In the end, I married him with fantasies. But now I understand. Studying may not be the only way out, but marriage is definitely not a good one to escape. Still, just like the lawyer said, I'm still young. It's not too late. I took the divorce papers and went home. Before I even stepped in, Liam and Jay rushed out, both looking really anxious. When Jay saw me, he burst into tears. Mom! Liam looked panicked too and grabbed me into a tight hug. I shoved him away hard with my stomach churning from deep inside.
Zoe, you're back.
Liam took a couple deep breaths, and then yanked Jay over to his side and glared at him. Jay choked up, forcing his sobs back. I watched them without a word, but a guess was forming. Looks like these two got reborn too. I sure don't remember them ever being this warm to me back then. Liam might be smooth with words, but he's never been passionate. Or maybe it's just not with me. And Jay has been a pampered rich kid. He treated his own mother like I was just the help. He read some books, and he was somehow superior. He didn't even have the patience to talk nicely. But none of that matters now. I stopped looking at them, walked inside, and laid the papers on the table. When Liam saw the papers, he just froze. It took him a while.
Divorce? Why?
He dropped to one knee trying to take my hand, but I pulled away.
Zoe, what?
He was pretending to be concerned.
Did something upset you today? Is it my parents? Don't be mad. I'll go talk to them. They won't pick on you.
I didn't answer. His voice grew even softer.
Right, I got a bonus yesterday. We have some money now. I'll hire a caregiver. You can rest. You can stay home. Take care of me and Jay. Jay's going to high school. He needs you here.
I couldn't help but snorted. Liam looked at me, confused. I asked him.
You got paid yesterday? It's mid-month now. Why not pay the bonus with your salary? Did your company change the rules?
Yeah, they did change them.
Really? The salary's only a few thousand. You've got a bonus one, and it wasn't even 10,000. That time I had a fever. I asked you to hire a caregiver to check on them, and you didn't. You said, what kind of family are we? Hiring caregiver. So how come with bonus now? You can afford that.
Seeing me like this, he started to get annoyed.
I work my butt off. What's wrong with more bonuses? You just spend the money. Why so many questions?
I looked at him coldly, wanting to see how long his fake patience could last, and I realized that so-called change of fortune last time was fake too. Liam had already been well off for a while, at least in the 2 years before my cancer, which is this time in my last life. He already had money. Otherwise, why would he say now he'd hire caregivers? Following that, a lot of things made sense, like how we were broke back then, yet Jay had a computer and a tablet, and his phone was the newest. He never asked me for pocket money, and he'd throw away the dinner. I even felt guilty, thinking I couldn't cook properly, that I was useless. Looking back now, Liam never let his son suffer, not once. He just kept it from me, and even if his parents were ill, they never ran out of imported meds, and their bills were never overdue. Back then, I trusted Liam completely. He said he was working so hard and he still took side gigs, that he had no time for home, and had to swallow his pride, borrowing money, and it was tough on him. Every time I asked for money, he would yell at me. I was hurt and wronged, but I still believed him. I thought he had it harder, so I just sucked it up. Turns out he always had money. He just spent it on his son, on his parents, and on mistress, but not a cent on me. Actually, before I relapsed, my body was feeling off, but Liam said I was dramatic, and I just wanted the money, so the checkup was never done. That was how I got cancer, and Liam is to blame. Of course, the main cause is me. I trusted him too much, never kept a bit for myself, never learned to love myself, and only knew how to give. Liam didn't want me to work, so I listened to him, and didn't stick to my guns. So when I really needed money, I was helpless, totally at their mercy. Even I ignored myself, so over time no one else would care. I remember once, I overheard him with his mom. I didn't give her water in time, and she poured it on me. She still wasn't satisfied, so she went to Liam. She said I'd been here for 10 years, so I won't need any money. And I liked living hard. I was born to pinch pennies, and I was cheap. I don't know how to spend it, so ignore me. Back then I thought she was venting, but now I see, it wasn't just that. Liam probably felt the same way. Ridiculous. When I said I wanted to go to work, they wouldn't agree, using the kid to tie me down, and even humiliated me. Truly shameless. Thinking of this, my gaze on Liam grew even colder. I tapped the divorce papers.
Sign it. Your bonus or caregiver. It has anything to do with me.
Of course I won't expose him. If I expose him, he might realize I've been reborn too, and then he'd be on guard with me, which would be bad. This time, I won't be tricked ever again. On my last deathbed, I had no idea how much money this family has had. When we divorced, they played poor, and I left with nothing. This time, with a lawyer, after I laid out my terms, the lawyer said the court can dig up all of Liam Stone's assets. When we divorce, I'll get everything I'm entitled to. It's not just about the money, it means that everything I gave wasn't for nothing. What's mine is mine. I won't touch a cent of anything else. Seeing I wouldn't budge at all, Liam almost lost it, but he held it back. He glanced at Jay. Jay rushed over to me and whispered, "Mom." Tears in his eyes, he begged me.
"Mom, don't get a divorce. Please don't leave me and Dad. I'm begging you."
My heart wavered, but then I remembered what he did, and I'd never forget the way Jay looked at me. Right in front of the mistress and Liam, he humiliated his own mother. He called me trash. He made excuses for his dad, while trampling the mother under his feet. He completely forgot when he was as a child. Every single time, I stayed up for him. If he had even any conscience, he'd never call his own mom lazy and good for nothing. He called the mistress mom, just because when he wanted something, she'd get him that. So she was good. He truly believed Liam's cheating was normal. After all, who wouldn't hate a useless housewife? Since he thinks Liam cheated because I made him to, then let him keep believing that. I don't expect anything. Even if he is my son, I still can't forgive that face that looks so much like Liam's. It makes me hate him more. This place is 30 square meters, dark and cramped, nothing like the one Liam bought back then for his mistress. I stood up, not willing to stay longer.
It's up to you. I'm doing it. Worst case, I'll take you to court.
After I left, they stared at the door, then Jay blew up, crying on the couch, blaming Liam. Liam was baffled because I used to be soft-hearted. Every time life crushed me, as long as they said a few nice words, I would give in and keep slaving for them. He never thought I'd be this firm this time. Soon he came up with something and waved Jay over. It's been a week since I came back. After my checkup at the hospital, I've been waiting for my lawyer. I've also picked out a new job, just waiting to get paid, so I can get that surgery done. At the hospital, doctor said I was lucky, because if this dragged on, it'd be hard, but right now, it's simple to fix, and won't cost much at all. I nodded and smiled, thinking I really was lucky. After all, not everyone gets a chance to live again. My parents' sudden call caught me off guard. They never cared about me, so I don't know what was it. They remembered they had a daughter, and there was a family. They insisted on coming. Things between us hadn't blown up yet. I didn't want to see them, but I couldn't turn them down a third time. They showed up that afternoon. What shocked me was, Liam and his parents showed up too. I knew what they were up to. Fine. If they were that eager to humiliate themselves, fine. My in-laws had been bedridden, so they were in wheelchairs. My parents are in poor condition, both leaning back on the sofa. When I walked in, 5 pairs of eyes turned to me.
"Zoe, what is wrong with you?"
My dad started in, jumping into lecturing me.
"Liam's treated you well. You haven't worked a single day, and you're not satisfied. Still wanting divorce. Your easy life has fried your brain. Apologize now."
Exactly.
My mom chimed in.
Look at you, dragging your in-laws here. Can't you see how much they value you? Back in our day, we never had it this good. He supported you. You just stay home and watch the kid. You have to do nothing. Nothing touches you, and you still want a divorce? Honestly, you need a beating. You pick on Liam because he's soft. Look at your sister-in-law. He'd beat her to death.
They always favored sons. Just because my sister-in-law had 2 girls, they hit her. I tried to talk to him, and I told my sister-in-law if she couldn't divorce him, she should run, or something would happen. But she couldn't leave her kids, and she was afraid of him, so all these years she endured it. I understand her thinking and her choice, because I'm like her. It looks like we have options. Kids tie us down so we can never get away. Letting go sounds easy, but if people could really walk away, why did I have to die once before make up my mind? Before I speak, my in-law said,
"Hit her! A wife is like dough. You gotta beat it to shape it. Only our Liam could put up with a wife like that. Doesn't earn a cent, but always full of drama."
My in-law laughed.
"No way. She's got a nasty temper. What if Liam hits her first and she takes it all out on us later? She's vicious like that."
Liam started playing the good guy. He looked at me gently.
Mom, Dad, what are you saying? We have been married for years. There are feelings. How could I hit her? Her temper's bad. She snaps once in a while, and I can handle it.
You better not handle me.
Listening to their little show, I dragged a chair to the doorway and looked at Liam.
I don't need your kindness. Instead of putting on this act, why not think about how much you need to earn to make a living once the one who served your family wholeheartedly was gone?
Before Liam could answer, I turned back to his parents and smiled.
You two are right, but don't count on me, because I will get my revenge. You better talk to Liam and sign the papers. Otherwise, you two will suffer.
"Watch your mouth!"
My father-in-law barked, staring at me. My in-law was so mad and couldn't get a single word out. I've taken care of them. I know their health. As for my dear mother-in-law, she's faking it.
That's how I talk. If you don't like it, have your son divorce me.
My mouth slowly dropped. If I still had to swallow their crap, I might as well just die. Reborn would be a waste. I sneered.
You don't like this, and not that, yet you still cling to me. What, is your son that useless? Can't afford a caregiver? Or are you just 2 bitches, and only want to torture me? Do you have to be this?
When Jay had started preschool, Liam's parents both had strokes. I was taking care of Kid and two ill old people. You can imagine that. They were both bedridden, and the pressure got worse. Liam said he was busy and never came home. I was doing the work of three, barely eating or sleeping. I'm almost 1.7 meters high, yet less than 90 drive. I was so exhausted I passed out a few times, yet they all thought that was just how it should be. It's just ridiculous. What's even more, I never saw how shameless they were. I still had hopes for Liam, so I forced myself to justify all that. Looking back now, it was like I'd been out of my mind. I just kept lying to myself until I ended up being pathetic. Liam thought I was being too harsh. He couldn't keep up. He couldn't understand why I had to do it, and his temper shifted. He frowned and said,
Zoe, did you meet someone? At that high school reunion, did you start seeing some guy? What did they say to you? Did they say you look so good or that gave you the wrong idea? Zoe, listen, don't be so naive. People always want something. They just run their mouths. You've had a kid. You know what you look like? If you wrap it up, I can still forgive you. Look at yourself. Who else would want you? You actually believe them?
I couldn't help but laugh.
Liam, do you really think you're someone everyone else wants to get? You hooked up with Evelyn at the reunion and slept together, so you think others are as shameless as you?
Liam's face went pale, ashamed and furious.
What are you saying? When was I with Evelyn?
He didn't I'd know about him and Evelyn. He panicked.
I'm not wasting time on proof.
I sneered.
Why not keep it simple? I'll ask Evelyn's husband. You two hooked up at last reunion, right? Your phone and bank cards. All the records can be pulled. Do you dare?
In my last life, when I found out about them, Evelyn was divorced and pregnant with Liam's child. I was going through both physical and mental torture, but Evelyn didn't let me go. She told me how she and Liam had gotten together, showed me their call logs and even their dirty chats one after another. I stared at their messages, and at every word, Liam despised me. I realized I had been living in hell for years. After that, my illness worsened. I didn't last half a year. Liam wanted to pull the same stunt, crush me, humiliate me, and make me feel small. But when I mentioned Evelyn's husband, he forgot everything but fear. After all, at this point, Evelyn wasn't divorced yet. Liam panicked. He wasn't afraid I'd go after him and Evelyn. He was terrified of Evelyn's husband. Watching him scramble like that, I was filled with contempt. That was when I realized Liam only picks on the weak. I must have been blind to fall for him.
Stop making trouble.
Liam barked at me, and had to soften his tone.
Zoe, you got it wrong. I'll explain everything later. Right now, business.
Business? What business?
I sneered.
Don't think I don't know. Let me make this clear today. I'm getting this divorce, so stop wasting your time. I'm not changing my mind.
I stood up, and my parents staring at me. There wasn't a trace of concern, not even a bit of pity. They weren't looking at their daughter, more like at some stranger who annoyed them. Their eyes were full of calculation. All those things I'd buried for years about my family can't be held down. I didn't want to swallow it, so I decided to rip it all open, cut out the rot, so I could start over.
Dad, Mom.
Hearing me, they both froze.
I know why you're here, and I know why you went quiet. I know every little scheme you've got.
My dad snapped.
What are you doing? You don't behave and can't help your brother. You can't take care of us. How can you lose your temper? What's the point of you being alive? Why don't you just go die?
I laughed, fighting back the stupid tears.
I had to look after my brother very young. When he was born until I dropped out to work, I never wore new clothes. At home, I had to give in. If I upset him even a little, you hit me, or yelled at me. You did it so often that he used it, and he bullied me more. You couldn't afford my school tuition, and for his future house, I gave you almost all my salary from the day I started working, and you weren't satisfied, pushing me every day. How come you stopped? Because you knew, compared to what I paid you back, what you spent on me is nothing.
Their faces are darker, but they couldn't find a thing to refute. Because not one word I said was a lie.
Then you married Liam. Doesn't that mean you owe us?
My mom remembered something, pointed at me, cursing, like she couldn't go on living.
You heartless animal. You don't want a good life and want to dump us two old people and refuse to support us. Fine. Say it now, as long as you give us money.
Why don't you continue?
I watched her performance.
When Liam gave you money, you praised him in front of me, pushing me to marry him. Did he wire you money again? Is that why you're here?
You're wrong.
Her eyes drifted. I'd hit the mark, but she refused to admit it. But that was fine. I didn't need her to. I'll rip their mask off.
What a great little plan. If I don't divorce him, Liam will keep sending you money, because he told you he's loaded now. But if I insist on it, go back to single. You'll use We Raised You to make me pay you every month, even move back to serve you, because my brother's away, and doesn't send you money, and he isn't around. You have no hope on him.
I saw the expressions on their faces.
And asked if I was wrong.
What do you mean? We're your parents. You still have to support us. That's just how the world works. Why do you complain about it?
I said coldly.
No way. I won't support you, and I won't come back. If you don't like it, go sue me. At this point, I don't care what they about me. Just see will I let you keep torturing me or not?
I turned and left. My hand on the doorknob, I realized there was one more thing.
Oh right, you two are like those two next door. Caramel ketchup.
I'll be waiting.
Ignoring the curses, I walked out. Liam didn't chase after me, but I knew he'd reach out again. He's scared. Scared I'll expose what he did. After all, Evelyn's husband is notorious for his bad temper. For someone like Liam, going against other men would be scaring. I won't let the two of them off the hook, but before the divorce, I couldn't burn the bridge. 3 days later, Liam reached out again, with Jay. He used the papers as an excuse, so I had to agree to meet, but I knew well, his real goal was to keep me quiet. After a few words, Liam started begging.
I'm sorry, Zoe. This is all my fault. I shouldn't have gotten involved with Evelyn. Believe me, I've only loved you. Have you forgotten all our years? I swear, I'll cut all contact with her. Please, just trust me.
Seeing I wouldn't budge, he called Evelyn on the spot, and cursed her right in front of me, saying the vilest, coldest things. I frowned at him, and honestly, I was surprised he could go this far, but I don't believe it, and I've seen how fake and selfish he is. Even if he castrated himself and swore he'd never cheat, I still wouldn't stay married to him. And knowing Liam, after all the things I just said, there's no way he'd swallow it. So there has to be a reason. Seeing how cold I was, and not moved at all, Liam went quiet for a moment.
Since you won't forgive me, I can only blame myself. But we've been married for years and there's Jay. We should think about him. If this gets ugly, he'll have a hard time, don't you think?
He watched my face nervously.
Let's drop the Evelyn thing. I'm not scared. I just worry about our son.
He's grown. He has to face some things. Evelyn is his stepmom, so her husband is his stepdad, right? I believe they wouldn't hurt Jay. Don't need to worry.
Zoe!
Liam couldn't keep it up and hissed.
What do you want? Push me to my death?
Why would I?
I curled my lips.
I'm not that cruel. Haven't you always known what I want? Just do it my way. Why so complicated?
Liam lowered his head, gasping. He looked up again, his eyes with sincerity.
Zoe, believe it or not, I don't want to divorce you. If my parents wronged you, I promise you won't see them again. If that's not enough, I'll take you to the bank now, checking all my assets, and you can get them. I won't say a word against it. As for Evelyn, I'll never have anything to do with her. If you don't trust me, you can check my phone anytime. Or whatever you say, I'll do it. I'll do as you say.
I looked into his eyes and remembered when he proposed to me, his eyes had been full of sincerity. Even now, I still believe that back then, he did have real feelings. Even if he used dirty tricks, it was just his character. But from the day we met to the day we married, I believe he really did like me then. It just wasn't a pure kind of love, so it couldn't last. Now he's in his 40s, with wrinkles around his eyes, and the sincerity looks blurry. I shook my head. If he couldn't be pure even back then, how could he really change now? And even if he did, so what? When you messed up, you have to apologize and make it right. So for the life he cost me, how can you make that up? The hope in Liam's eyes died. He got up and left. I stood up to go too. Jay hadn't said a word, but he grabbed my sleeve and then dropped to his knees.
Mom, I was wrong.
Seeing that Liam and I were breaking, Jay cracked under the pressure and said the truth. So they really were reborn too. Died in the 3rd year after I left. In those 3 years without me, they were miserable. At first, Liam felt relieved, dreaming a happy life with Evelyn. They got married, threw a banquet, even a honeymoon. But after she gave birth to a boy, Evelyn changed. She became the real boss. She had fallen for Liam because he spent money, and she had no restraint later. If Liam was a bit late giving her money, she made a scene. She would storm to his parents too, even causing trouble at company and at Jay's school. She went from considerate to mean and selfish. She smashed everything at home. When they argued, she would yell so loud, airing all the Stone's dirty things to Liam. He couldn't handle it, and gave her what she wanted. The savings used to be decent, but after that, plus his parents and 2 kids, who all needed money, soon he couldn't keep up and started borrowing. When Evelyn found out, she wanted to die. She made such a mess. He started making mistakes at work, and finally got fired. As for Jay, when he first heard I was dead, he felt relieved. Without me, the pressure eased up. He'd have to support a sick mom. No one would nag him about school and life. He was free, but his grades tanked. He didn't get into high school. And because Liam and Evelyn had a son of their own, they paid less attention to Jay. Evelyn would yell at him for money. So Liam had to slip him money. Once she knew it, the house was into chaos. Liam's parents had it worse. At first, Liam hired a caregiver, but a caregiver is paid, so of course they weren't as attentive as I was. Liam's parents loved to nitpick, but no one would put up with that. After a few times, they'd get back at them, or just quit outright. So they went through several ones and were not satisfied. They wanted Liam to deal with Evelyn the way he'd dealt with me, but Evelyn ignored them and took Liam's bank card. She stopped hiring a full-time one, but one by hour, then stopped hiring even those. She told Liam, they're that old, sick all over so bad, just leave them at home with supply. Why waste money on them? After being taken care of by a new daughter-in-law, they passed away. Liam, jobless and doing part-times, broke down physically. One day, while taking Jay looking for work, there was a car accident, then they were reborn. After hearing all that, I felt nothing. Maybe dying once numbed me. I've kicked that soft-hearted habit. Whether it's Liam or Jay, their suffering, compared to mine, is nothing really, and they deserved it, so they can't blame others. After hearing this, I understood why the Liam was so desperate not to divorce. Because he knew besides me, no one would give him, or his family, that much. In the end, it was all for himself. Same with Jay. I looked at the child I carried for 10 months, the tears in his eyes. I spoke calmly.
Jay, everyone has to own their choices. Me, your dad, and you too. Right now, I'm choosing my own future. Your dad is making his choices too, and so are you. Before you're an adult, I'll transfer your money. After that, how you live your life is up to you. And of course, my life has nothing to do with you.
Jay broke down crying, knowing from now on, he no longer had a mom. I stood up and left the room. When I walked out, I saw Liam smoking by the corner. Seeing me come out alone, he realized. He stopped struggling and signed the divorce papers. I didn't take the apartment, just an extra 100,000. When the money's in, I realized how much he'd made these years. Yet even so, he still refused to spend a cent to get me checked and treated. He wouldn't tell me the truth, so I didn't have to suffer. But none of that matters now. It's the past. I gave up the job I'd interviewed, had the surgery, and took the money to another city. I cut ties with my old life. A few months later, I sent an anonymous tip to Evelyn's husband. Later, I heard Evelyn got sued for divorce and left with nothing. Liam was beaten by Evelyn's husband. He lost an eye. But to keep his job, he swallowed his pride. He paid compensation, and that was that. As for broke Evelyn, she didn't want to work, so she latched back onto Liam again. When he refused to give her money, she went to his parents. Liam's parents couldn't take it anymore, and they got worse. He sent them to the hospital. This time, Liam made a clean cut. He quit his job and left that city. No one knew where they went. A year later, my work and my life were on track. I heard my brother's daughter could walk. I contacted my sister-in-law and gave her some money. No one can save her except herself. All I can do is throw her a rope. Whether she gets out or not is still up to her. Another year. On a business trip, I met up with her once. Oh wait, she's not my sister-in-law. My brother ran off just to avoid our parents. She used the money I gave her to get him to sign the papers. Then she left with her daughters and started over. I was genuinely happy for us and for everyone climbs out of the abyss.